Let's walk through all the controls of Big Beautiful Door so that you don't have to bother reading that pesky user manual. Big Beautiful Door is a noise gate on steroids. Instead of saying, turn up when you get above the threshold and turn down when you drop below the threshold, Big Beautiful Door lets you independently adjust the gain and EQ of each of these scenarios. It breaks it up into two sections, open gate and closed gate. When your sound level peaks above the threshold, the gate is open. When it drops below the threshold, the gate is closed. This graph shows the incoming sound level. It turns red when the gate is closed and blue when the gate is open. The first thing you do when you open up Big Beautiful Door is set the threshold so that the sound you want to hear is above it and the sound you don't want to hear is below it. You can use a sidechain filter to dial this in even more. The sidechain filter comes in three modes: high pass, low pass, band pass, and flat. You can click the headphone icon to listen to this sidechain. In addition to keying the gate off the incoming sound, you can also key it off an external sound source or even a MIDI source. More on this later. The envelope section determines how the gate responds to the incoming sound. The attack controls how quickly your gate will open when it crosses above the threshold. Turn it up to give it a slow ramp up, and turn it down to 0 to make it open instantly. The release adjusts how quickly the gate closes when it drops below the threshold. The hold option forces the gate to stay open a little bit longer before closing. Look ahead lets it look into the future to open up before the sound crosses the threshold. When you adjust this, it will increase the latency of your DAW. The ratio adjusts how hard the gate closes after it drops below the threshold. When the ratio is lower, the gate will close gradually as the level drops below the threshold. Bring the ratio up to make it fully disengage when dropping below the threshold. The hysteresis knob adds a little buffer space between the threshold before the gate closes. When the gate is open, it will have to drop below the hysteresis level before it closes. If the gate is closed, it will have to go above the threshold before it opens. This prevents rapid-fire opening and closing of the gate when a sound is hovering near the threshold. Now for the section where the magic really happens. The closed gain adjusts how much the volume will change when the sound drops below the threshold. If you want to turn the noise down by 6 dB, just turn this gain down by 6 dB. That would be like a range control on a normal gate. But unlike a gate, you can also apply positive gain, turning the sound up when it drops below the threshold. If you want to go silent when it drops below the gate, just disable the closed section completely, and Big Beautiful Door acts like a normal gate. The closed section also has a 4-band EQ. This EQ really lets you dial in your sound to a much greater degree. For example, if I just wanted to reduce the high frequencies when the sound gets quiet, I can leave the gain at 0 and adjust the EQ instead. The open section has the same controls as the closed section. When the gate crosses a threshold, it will apply the open gain and EQ. Now, back to the MIDI sidechain we mentioned earlier. This lets you use a MIDI note to manually trigger when the gate is open and closed. When a note is pressed, the gate opens. When it is released, the gate closes. And of course, you can save presets for later recall. You can even save presets for each subsection. If you have an EQ curve that you like to use for your closed gate, you can save it and recall it here. And only the closed gain and closed EQ section will be affected. Same goes for the open section. And we have a mix knob that lets you blend your wet and dry signals together because why not? You can bypass the plugin by hitting this power button. Good night.